Hi everyone, in today's video we'll be completing chapter 6 called Motivating Workers, where we'll be covering the following topics: why people work, motivational theories, factors that motivate workers, and job satisfaction. First, we'll be looking at why people work. For a person to work, he or she needs motivation. What are the motivations behind working? But before we discuss that, let us first talk about motivation. Motivation is the reason or reasons behind a person acting a certain way. In simpler words, motivation is that voice in your head that makes you want to do something. So now that we understand what is meant by motivation, let us see why a person would want to work by discussing the possible motivations behind working. First of all comes the aspect of money. People work to earn money so they can afford to live the life they want. Next comes security. By working, a person can be financially secured, which helps them to be secured in other aspects of life. Next comes job satisfaction. If a person is satisfied with their job, they will definitely be motivated to work. After that comes self-esteem. A person gets a feeling of importance from work, and that goes a long way in motivating someone to work. And finally, we have social needs, where a person feels part of a group at work, where everyone is working towards a particular goal. Now that we know the reasons why a person works, let us see why motivation is so important. A well-motivated worker would be more active at work, which leads to higher productivity. Higher productivity results in increased output, which leads to higher profits. On the other hand, unhappy workers or unmotivated workers leads to ineffective work and low output, which results in lower or even no profits. Next, we'll be discussing the 3 motivational theories. First, we have Frederick Taylor, then we have Maslow, and lastly, we have Herzberg. Let us start with Frederick Taylor. He started his working life as a laborer in a factory in America in the late 1800s. It was during this time that he looked deep into labor productivity and how it could be increased. He believed that all individuals are motivated by personal gain. This meant if they were paid more, they would be more effective. In order to put this into practice, he broke down the employees' work into simple tasks and completed their output per day. Then the work would be measured and the employees would be paid accordingly. He believed with more personal gains, employees would be more productive, which would lead to lowered labor costs. Though his work resulted in great productivity, there were several criticisms as well, which we will be discussing next. People often criticized Taylor's work by labeling it too simplistic, as most believed that employees are motivated by a number of things and not just money. Next, people said that the mindset of an employee is most important when motivation is being questioned. They feel that if a person feels unfulfilled by their work, no amount of money can increase his or her effectiveness. And lastly, it was argued that his ways are great for work that can be measured. But what about the ones that can't be measured? There are a number of tasks, such as teaching itself, where it is difficult to measure the exact output generated. So these were some of the problems with Taylor's way of thinking. Let us look at what the other theorists have to say.